This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Happening right now, Missouri is set to carry out its first execution of 2024. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Brian Dorsey was convicted of the murders of 2 family members back in 2006. Dorsey has spent the last 17 years in prison for the Mid-Missouri murders. And today, vigils have been held across the state in support of Dorsey.
Our Annie Krall joins us live outside the St. Louis Circuit Court where a vigil wrapped up. Annie.
Brian Dorsey is convicted of killing his cousin and her husband back in 2006. Demonstrators were here at 3 o'clock this afternoon, just 3 hours before his scheduled execution. Brian Dorsey and his legal team are out of options to stop his execution. The U.S. Supreme Court denying Dorsey's clemency petition for good behavior hours before it was scheduled on Tuesday. Earlier demonstrators in St. Louis tell me they object to the 11th execution since Governor Mike Parson has been in office.
It just underscores how wrong it is to kill. Somewhere we have a sign that says, why do we kill people who kill people, to show that killing people is wrong.
On December 23, 2006, in New Bloomfield, north of Jefferson City, prosecutors say Dorsey went to his cousin, Sarah Bonney, and her husband, Ben, to borrow money to pay drug dealers.
A monster killed my cousin, and that monster is crack cocaine.
Dorsey shot and killed them, then sexually assaulted his cousin Sarah's body, according to prosecutors, as their 4-year-old daughter slept in another room. Jenny Gerhauser, cousins with both Dorsey and Sarah, testified at the trial on Dorsey's behalf and spoke at her cousin Sarah's funeral.
And I truly felt somebody needed to speak for Sarah, just as I'm speaking for Brian right now, because I love them the same.
One of Dorsey's attorneys, Megan Crane, says he was going through a drug-induced psychosis during the crime. That was never mentioned in the initial trial.
Yes, been convicted of this terrible crime, but he doesn't even remember, yet he's taken responsibility for it.
Brian Dorsey issued a final statement just moments ago that read, in part, to all of the family and loved ones I shared with Sarah, and to all of the surviving family and loved ones of Ben, I am totally, deeply, overwhelmingly sorry. Words cannot hold the just weight of my guilt and shame. Reporting live in St. Louis, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Tonight, more gunfire at a Hazelwood Quick Trip. Police say a man fired several shots into the air after an argument at the gas station on Lindbergh Boulevard. No one was hurt, but this is the second time in recent months shots were fired at this gas station. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer joins us live from the Hazelwood Police Department.
Well, and late last year, a teenager died after a shooting at the Lindbergh Quick Trip. Witnesses today say this shooting never should have happened. This evening, Hazelwood Police Department say a suspect is in custody for today's shooting.
A lot of sirens.
Hazelwood resident Karen Condon heard and saw several police cars headed towards the Quick Trip on Lindbergh just before noon Tuesday. Several Amazon drivers were outside of the gas station where police questioned them. Condon wants to stay in the neighborhood she's lived in for decades, but says what happened today leaves her with questions about the future.
Because it seems like so many people are armed, and how do you stop that?
An Amazon driver told 5 on your side 2 coworkers, also drivers, were talking near the gas pumps when one of them made a comment to a woman who walked by. When the woman became upset, they say she called her son to the gas station and he fired a gun into the air. Amazon employees say they ran into the gas station to take cover.
To be honest, it's something you kind of get used to.
Community leaders like Brian McKenna also having his say. Late last year, there was another shooting at the same Quick Trip where police say 70 shots were fired and an 18-year-old died. McKenna is a retired Hazelwood Police Department lieutenant who lives in the neighborhood. McKenna still helps train officers and says he wants to see more community meetings happen to address the violence at the gas station.
I don't know what we really can do about it. I do know that there's other things that the police departments can do. And one of the big things is get to know their public better.
Now, this evening, police say charges could come as early as tomorrow for the suspect in custody. We have reached out to both Quick Trip and Amazon for statements. Quick Trip responding this email saying that they will say, in part, ensure the necessary and appropriate measures for both the safety of customers and employees. Reporting live here in Hazelwood, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
We are trying to learn more about a shooting involving a teen in North St. Louis City. Police say it happened just after 3 o'clock this afternoon on Kennerly Avenue. That's near Pierre Laclede Elementary. The victim was shot in the chest, then taken to a nearby hospital. We do not know their name or condition right now. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
The two most powerful Democrats in St. Louis County government are feuding over funding. County Executive Sam Page wants the council to raise taxes to pay for a new $562 million county government building. But first, Council Chair Shalonda Webb wants him to release his hold on federal pandemic funds. Political editor Mark Maxwell takes a closer look at what's at stake.
Leaders in St. Louis County paint a pair of grim pictures. Government buildings in disrepair.
I don't know what they're going to do with this.
Cracks in the foundation and communities forsaken, impoverished, and hungry.
These are cracks that penetrate people's soul.
The despair and demand dwarf the dollars available to fix it all.
Right now, the priority is to deliver these ARPA funds.
So when County Executive Sam Page pushed for a tax hike to fund a new county government building,
This would not be a building that is best suited for the workforce of the future.
Council Chair Shalonda Webb took that debate from inside the chambers out into North County.
To remind the administration of the priorities of the people and the promises we have made to them.
Webb took reporters on a tour of derelict properties due for demolition.
These houses have already been cleared, their titles are cleared, and it's ready to be demolished.
Crisis counselors who provide battered women shelter.
Temporary housing, can you get us a hotel expense, a way where we can be safe?
And this empty parking lot outside the shell of an old vacant grocery store in a part of town the federal government considers a food desert. Not far away, the sounds of peace and seeds of hope.
We're trying to bring peace to a place that's kind of been tumultuous, traumatized, disinvested.
The Rustic Roots Sanctuary Farm grows and delivers free food to hungry seniors who struggle to get out.
Coming out of the ground and going to your plate the same day is probably the freshest, most nutritional value you can get.
Founder Janet Lewis sees solutions on her horizon.
We've got this stride and our community is depending on us, so we're going to do it somehow.
But that brighter future is tied together in the same stack of paperwork with the rest of the county's bleak past.
Sign the contracts, cut the check.
Webb described Page's political maneuvers as ruthless, cold-hearted, and calculating.
The county executive has been holding these contracts hostage for 6 months.
Tactics she feels exploit despair to prioritize a new government building over the people that government is sworn to serve.
Sometimes people like to slow walk things until there are benefits to them.
Page's office said he's never connected Project Cornerstone to ARPA funding. But to find enough votes to raise taxes and fund that new building, he'll need Webb's support.
It starts by making good on promises like what's behind me that we haven't done. It starts by taking care of your vulnerable. It starts by delivering on your promises.
In St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
A suspected